Still spinning, Jason.
We live.
We are live.
We are live. Live. Good afternoon, everybody.
I should make a funny face so YouTube can use it for the.
It don't work anymore. Used to
No,
you have to look all proper at the beginning. Now they just randomly pick a.
and they pick it when I'm picking it.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Not really, but anyway, today is March the 5th, and it is 4:00 Central Time here in Alabama.
that's right.
Very warm day, supposed
It
to
has
be.
cooled off though.
Oh, really?
I mean, that's not like sweater weather, but it's the difference between this morning and now. I think
Well, I
I
hadn't
had
been
the air
outside.
conditioning on today.
Well, I know because I wouldn't cut it off.
I can't believe you cut it off.
Well, I had to. I was freezing.
You're usually so hot natured.
Not in the house.
Okay.
I get cold.
I got you.
It was either put a sweatshirt on or cut it up a degree, and I cut it up a degree. I said he's got fans up there. He can make do.
Well, it was earlier. It has cooled off.
It was about lunch.
Yeah.
Well, a little after lunch.
It has cooled off.
Got sidekick Dee Dee up here.
Yep.
She was barking a little bit and followed me upstairs. So now when she starts barking, I just say, cool it down a little bit.
You can see she's on the alert over there.
She is. She's
She's
going.
looking like this.
And if I touch her, she's probably going to yelp.
Oh, gosh.
That's just how she rolls.
Oh, goodness.
How's y'all's day going?
Yeah, how's y'all's day? We're about to get some rain here.
Well, let's hope it doesn't pound down too hard before we get this live over, or we won't be able to hear.
I know that's what I started worrying about.
Well, you worry about things you can't control because.
Well, I just was worrying that it was going to start pouring in the middle of the live and I had to cut it short. And besides that, I didn't know if we was going to be able to go live on Facebook and Instagram.
Ah.
They were down today. How many of y'all reset your password? That's what I did. I thought I'd have been hacked. I was like, I'd have been hacked. What's going on? I can't log in.
I went on my phone and it said that I had to re-log in, and I thought, oh no, Jason logged me out, and I don't know how to get back in it. And true enough, my mama's logged out, and she didn't know how to get back in.
She can't remember her username and password.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not good.
She might have to have a whole new setup.
Yep. That's not good. But it's back up and going, and so we are now live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.
All right.
Or X. It's not Twitter no more. It's called X. We're streaming everywhere, and on all of our channels. So,
here we go.
Here we go. No, hush.
I just give her a little tap and it calms her down. But we're trying to see who can wear the most plaid today.
Yeah.
Sorry, but this is what I put on this morning. That's what he put on this morning. That's what we're wearing.
That's right.
So
I like plaid.
Well, this shirt is rather thin. Yours is not thin.
It's not thick either, but it's not thin.
But I wish I could wear this shirt every day because it's quite comfortable, especially the weather we've been having. Roll my sleeves up and I'm a little cooler, and
I like that shirt too.
Sun protected.
The Western style, the double pockets and the no button down collar. That's what I like.
It says live life. So that's what I'm doing. Living life.
Oh, man. Goodness gracious. Live life. That's funny.
Live life. All right. So a big thing happened since we've been on the live.
What's that?
Big thing. About the size of a chicken egg.
Oh, you're talking about the Victoria Crown pigeon egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just going to jump right in.
We're going to jump right in.
Did y'all see the video? Because we kind of gave it away with the title. We're just not clickbait kind of people. And she laid an egg. I'm going to tell y'all, I was not in the least expecting it.
No. Let me tell you why. So I don't know how long we've had the pigeons. For a while now.
Right.
And
I think me, Carl, and I decided 2.5 years.
We've been here almost 3. We got them before we came here.
2021.
We've had them longer than that. They were at the old farm.
I know.
We moved them here. We've been here 3 years. We've been living in the house 2 years. We lived outside
Well, the house
house
won't
3
be
years.
until October.
Yeah.
2 years.
I think it feels like it's longer than that. Anyways, they have built these elaborate nests
Twice.
and never done anything. This year, they haven't built a diddly squat and laid an egg.
When I did that video last Thursday, because one of them was sitting on the nest,
Right.
I was this close to going to get more material. Jason had even told me.
Hey, I
He
haven't
said,
told you to.
you know, if you go get more material, grab me and
I'd help you.
and I'll help you. And I was like, okay. So I said, I'll let you know. Well, after I sat in there for as long as I did video and he didn't move, I just felt like maybe I shouldn't mess with any materials. And lo and behold, there was an egg there then that I didn't know about until the next day when Mary Carl went in and she wanted to make sure nothing was wrong with him. First of all, because he had been sitting for quite some time, and she saw the egg, and we got a picture of it, a quick picture.
Yes.
But it was about the size of a chicken egg, bright white. She's only going to lay that one for him and her to sit on for 30 days. And that means, let's see, we're 10 days into this.
He, I tell you, to me, he looks like he's been sitting a lot more than she has.
She was on it this morning.
Okay.
She was on it this morning. I went out there to, take care of peacocks and stuff, and I can never tell who it is by just looking.
Yeah.
And especially whoever's on the nest, you can't see their legs.
Right.
So you have to identify the one that's walking around. And I will say that she paces a lot more than he does. When she's not on the nest, she walks up and down that aviary.
She worried about that baby.
Yeah. But when he's on the nest, when she's on the nest,
yeah,
he just kind of wanders around.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like, he just chill. He doesn't really pace or
Right,
walk or
right.
anything. He's just himself. But her demeanor has changed some since this egg's been laid. Oh, Dee Dee, just settle down, baby. By her pacing. It's almost like, get off my egg. It's
Right,
time for me to
right.
sit. I don't know. They don't get up there together, though.
No, they don't
It's
get up
one
there
or
together.
the other.
Yeah.
And
You haven't seen them switch guard, have you?
I saw him get down
Right.
and her get up,
Mm-hmm.
but it was not simultaneous. It was like
Gotcha.
he got down, he ate, and then, I left before she got back up there. But by the time I looked, it was her on the nest and not him.
Maybe when it gets close to the hatching time, we can get the camera I can zoom in. We can't move the camera.
That's right.
Because we're going to disturb them if we move the camera.
Yeah, because I was looking at it today, and had we known this was going to happen, and how did we even know what nest they were going to choose?
Not only that, they never started working on the nest,
No.
and it was quick.
It was quick. It was while Mary Carl and I were going to Florida.
Yeah.
Jason sent both Mary Carl and
Mhm.
myself a text and said, one of the Victorians is sitting on the nest. And literally I was like, so what?
Right.
It was not a big deal because it happens all the time.
Right.
One of them's up there, they're just goofing off, and no point. No point to it. But this time it happened.
This time it happened.
When we least expected it.
Yeah, we wasn't remotely thinking about it at all.
And that's probably why it happened, because we weren't thinking.
But we can zoom the camera in. It's just the picture quality is not 100% at all. But we can zoom the camera in.
Which is not interesting at all right now.
No,
they just sit.
There's nothing going on. It's just sitting.
I'm not going to say if that baby's born. I'm going to say when that baby's born.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to see them feed the baby. And I think we'll be able to get some shots of the baby, upright, trying to get. What you sitting so straight for?
I'm acting like him.
Oh, okay.
Now, somebody said that they can't believe we have not named those Victorian crown pigeons.
I saw that.
But they got names. She's Ophelia, and we had named him
Ophelia and Hamlet. Ophelia and Hamlet.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time referring to them by their names.
Yeah.
I think it's because
they're just a little too proper.
Well, I think it's probably because I don't know who's who anyway.
You're used to Mildred
yeah.
and Loretta
and
Gus.
Come in when you say their name.
Not Ophelia.
Ophelia.
Ophelia. And Macbeth. I almost said it. Oh, Hamlet.
Hamlet. Oh, my gracious, y'all.
Oh, me. Oh,
I just
goodness.
don't know if those names are appropriate, but that's what their names are.
Yeah.
We will definitely name the baby.
Definitely name the baby.
This is what I'm hoping for, okay?
Yeah.
So that baby's going to stay in that nest for quite some time.
Right.
It's not going to just be born and jump out.
That's right.
So I don't really think there's any chance of this happening, but what I would like to do is for them to take that eggshell and drop it on the ground for me after it's born.
Yeah.
Because I can in turn take that eggshell and send it off to determine the sex.
That's right.
I don't think I'm going to have any chance of pulling a feather, and plus they have to be a certain age before that can be done.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
So my only chance of sexing them at a young age is by the eggshell.
Right.
And when I go out there and I look at them, I say, you remember now, drop that eggshell off when your baby hatches.
You've been talking to him about it?
Yes.
Does he respond?
No.
You don't say nothing back?
Nothing.
You don't do like this?
Nothing.
No fist bump.
And I will say that there has not been any more of us visiting them than it was before, because things are the same.
Yeah.
You know, we noticed the egg. I did the video, but it's not like I was right on top of them.
Right.
You know, I was standing back where we feed them, although you guys may have not been able to tell that. I have a Zoom on my iPhone.
Yeah.
That allows me to get right up close and personal.
The phones can zoom in a lot.
They
now.
can.
I mean, a lot.
So don't fault me by thinking that I was disturbing them, because I was not. I would not.
Yeah.
I am not. I want this baby.
Oh, me. We got to figure out another character of the Shakespeare.
Well, we got 20 more days.
Maybe instead of Ophelia, we can call her Oprah.
No, that's too. We don't know if it's her. We don't know if it's a her.
Talking about Ophelia.
Oh, I thought you meant the baby.
Oprah and Hammy.
Okay. Well, that's more our style, isn't it?
That's about more our style
That's more our style. I could handle that.
Oh, goodness.
Huh.
Oh, me.
Interesting. But y'all, I'm so excited. I must say that Mary Carl tells me to not get my hopes up so much, because this baby may not do as well as I want it to, because it's the first baby.
That's right.
My thoughts are, he's going to go well. It's going to go well.
It's going to go well.
It's going to go well. They know what they're doing. Obviously, they waited a whole long time before they made this egg. They know what they're doing.
It's going to go well. I think it's going to be okay.
I think she just didn't want me to be disappointed if something happened.
I think it's going to be fine.
And, then I want to know, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Why are you saying that? Well, just because it's their first. And with her pigeons, with her domesticated pigeons, more times than none, the first baby that the pigeon has, or first egg, clutch, 2 pigeons of hers lay 2. They don't make it. But I don't think that's the case in these. It's a whole different.
It's a whole different. It's a bigger bird, too.
But a lot bigger bird. And there's only one egg.
A lot bigger bird.
A
lot bigger bird.
And the pigeons of hers, when they start laying, they're literally like 4 months old. These birds are, I don't know how old. I've got the paperwork from where the lady gave them to us, but I don't know how old they are. I would say 5, 4, 5, something like that.
And you're estimating the 24th?
I think I said did I say the 24th?
I don't know why I got. Maybe that's
I think it's the 25th.
Maybe that's the goats.
No.
What day were the goats?
Bootsy was the 17th.
So getting close on the goats.
Bootsy. Well, we're not going to talk about that, okay?
Well, it may happen.
It may, but she sure isn't bagging up. Or
no,
there's no signs.
Yep.
And the Nubians, I looked at when Fifi was bred, because she was the first one, and that was November the 30th.
So they're bagging up. She's
got a long time left to only be 3 months along.
They big too.
Yeah.
They big.
She's got 2 months left, and here Bootsy would have days left, and she's not showing anything. But it's a smaller breed of goat.
Yep. I see people asking what's going to happen if it gets cold again. I just looked at 10-day forecast. This doesn't get below 60.
They talking about the Victorian?
It's not. It's not going to get cold. If it did, though,
it's not going to affect it because they sit on the baby.
They sit on the egg. Their temperature is not going to change.
The only thing we would have a problem with is if it got down in the low 20s or low teens, which that usually only happens.
Extremely rare.
Yeah. We would want to not. It would be bad for the fruit farmers. Very bad. Way worse than last year.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening. I just looked at 10-day forecast, and it doesn't get below 65, I don't think.
But if it does, we'll make arrangements. We'll make arrangements, but
it's not going to get cold.
The parents are going to sit on the chick, so.
Yep.
It's
Yep. We're going to hit almost 80 degrees again.
It's an amazing. Well, the whole situation about birds and how they sit on their eggs and how the male sits on some, that whole thing just amazes me.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
It is amazing. It is. And if Nugget sits on his eggs or Goldie's eggs, that'll be amazing too. But I don't believe it, but we'll see.
We will see. I said that about Bootsy too. We will see. And I was wrong, I think.
Well, I will say this. There will be an egg update tomorrow in tomorrow's video. And Nugget is doing some strange things. So it'll be in tomorrow's video. So y'all stay tuned for that. Yeah,
he's doing some things to make us know that he knows the eggs are there.
Yeah. So some strange behavior there on his part.
Strange behavior, but he's a strange bird. He's a strange bird. I went into the emu stall the other day.
Yeah.
And I thought I was standing there with Nugget, and I realized just in a minute it was Goldie. So, she's just a totally different animal than she was several months ago.
Oh, yeah. She's night and day different.
I just knew it was Nugget.
Night and day different.
I'm guarding my earrings. Yep. She doesn't do that kind of thing. She doesn't peck my ears and go after things. But I'm thinking, now, don't you bite my ears. And I'm standing there talking to her and making sure she's got food, or what I thought was Nugget.
Right.
Got food in his bucket. And she's just as inquisitive towards me as Nugget usually is. So,
but she don't clean the bottom of your feet off.
No. I guess she thinks our shoes are good enough.
I guess so. He's obsessed with it.
He is.
I mean, obsessed.
But he has been since he was little.
Always has been. Always has been. He's a mess. He is extremely sweet. Oh my gosh. Today, when I was out there with him today, he seemed a little bit more affectionate. And maybe he's, I don't know.
Go ahead and say it.
I don't know. Maybe he will sit on the eggs. I don't know. We'll see, though. I'm still not convinced 100%. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We will see, because it's going to be a mystery to all of us, whether he sits or doesn't sit. Or
my only concern is if he starts sitting and then sees one of us, he's going to get up.
If he does, he does. I mean, not much we can do about it.
Nope.
Nature is strong, and I feel like if he's destined to sit and hatch those babies, he's not going to get up, no matter if we come over there or not.
Yep. We'll see. Oh, no-go. Well, the beekeepers were here. I say beekeeper, not keepers.
Well, Roy was back at the shop taking care of, I'm sure, lots of things that needed doing.
I'm sure. And Miss Rachel came and took care of our bees.
That's right.
I meant to ask her how it looked, but we were about to do the live, so I didn't get a chance to talk to her over there.
Well, I'm sure she'll reach out to us and let us know.
She will.
Last time she was here, she was amazed at how well the bees were doing.
She said they're booming. She said they are booming everywhere. And she went to Petals from the Past first and checked on our bees there. She said those bees were booming. Came here. Then when she left here, she was going to Catherine at G&G to check on Catherine's bees that we got set up over there. So the bees are rocking. But we got one hive over there that was a little weak that we think that they didn't see a queen, so they put some eggs in it And that's what she was really checking for today, to see if they had hatched a queen. If not, she had one she was going to put in.
It's all amazing to me. I told Mary Carl the other day, she said, Mama, she said, all that stuff about bees is interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to do it. And I said, well, that's okay. You don't have to. I said, I wish that I had storage to learn about it, because I feel like whatever I'm told about them doesn't stick. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely makes sense.
I feel like I can't understand it.
That happens to me a lot.
I wonder if I was Mary Carl's age and I was learning, if I would do differently.
Yeah.
But I'm going to leave it to them.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's the best way.
It is. I can actually comprehend the bee stuff, but I know what you're talking about when you can't comprehend something.
See, damn, baby. Dee Dee acted like she saw something come around the corner that wasn't supposed to be here.
But she did tell me that her and her daddy are working on something new, and they have not perfected it yet.
What's that?
They're working on it. And we got in it. We talked about crystallized honey the other day. And there's a lot of people say that they whip their crystallized honey. And so Rachel and her daddy, Mr. Roy, have been working on whipped honey. And you hadn't had it yet.
I have not, but
look at it, y'all. It almost looks like caramel almost. Isn't that awesome?
Well, after the last live where we talked about Rachel and Roy are now selling the honeycomb along, with the honey in the jars. Cool. There were some people saying, you can make whipped honey with crystallized honey.
Yeah.
And all whipped honey is half crystallized honey with half regular honey, meaning uncrystallized honey. And it's beaten with a mixer.
Right.
Until it's of this consistency. And you've already tried it. You had already tried it.
Creamed honey or whipped honey, it is, oh my gosh, try it.
People say that it's awesome on, I don't want a whole lot now. People say that it's awesome on toast.
You know what would be good on?
What?
Ice cream.
Oh.
Vanilla ice cream. If you have vanilla ice cream and had that and drizzled on it.
That is good.
It changes the flavor ever so slightly. I don't know why.
It's almost a buttery flavor either I have in my mind.
Isn't it though?
That is good.
But they are working on this. You can see they got notes on it. I don't know what the 30 means. I know what room temp means, but I don't know what the 30 means. But it is delicious.
So I wonder if that can crystallize.
That's what they're doing all these experiments on.
I wonder if that can turn to back to
She said if they get it perfected and get it like they want it, then eventually we can offer this. But I wanted to show that to y'all. She just brought it to me.
So good.
30 minutes ago? How long have we been on here? 30 minutes ago? Isn't it good?
Man.
I've never had whipped honey.
I haven't either.
It's my first time.
I haven't had it either. I've seen people make it and I've heard about it, but I've never.
No, I just missed it. I don't know who said it. It went by so fast, but it caught my eye because I saw fried chicken. And they said it like honey. I bet that would be good drizzled on fried. This would be good drizzled on anything.
That's good. That's really good. It's different. It's not what I expected.
Me either. Wow.
So I got my first taste of whipped honey on the live.
I'm going to have to hide that. I'm going to eat that whole jar.
Dee Dee's over here just licking up in the air. She must smell it.
It's good, ain't it, girl?
She said, I just smell the particles.
Oh, man. It is good.
Wow. I hope they do get that perfected.
I hope so, too.
Huh. Interesting.
We had another big thing happen this week. You had the Victorian crown egg.
I'm trying to think.
I got the tractor back.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, y'all. There I go again.
I got the tractor back.
Got that tractor back.
Y'all, and I drove it yesterday. I didn't drive it today.
Because it was an 80% chance of rain.
It was 80% chance of rain, but I did crank it today.
You knew as soon as we got started working on gardens or something, then it would start pouring.
Yeah, well, I got it right at the wrong time. I mean, say that. Any time would have been great to get in the back, but I really want to work on the garden, but it's just a terrible time. We had 2 inches of rain.
Right.
Had a couple of days where it's been pretty, And now we're getting some more rain. It's going to start raining today all the way on up till Saturday, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot of rain coming.
And you really do not want to work your ground when it's raining.
That's right.
I mean, sometimes you do what you got to do. I mean, I've been in that position before where you shouldn't work your ground, but you're already late, and so you do what you got to do. That happened to me several times at the old farm.
It did.
But I'm hoping that we get some clear weather on up. And somebody said whipped honey and a cinnamon bun. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. But I really want to. So my plan is to take both tractors. I'm gonna put the tiller on the big tractor. I'm kind of nervous. I'm gonna do some research on it. That tractor's I don't even know what horsepower it is. I forgot. I had all that in my brain when I got the tractor. Now I can't remember, but I need to go back and look. I'm scared the tractor may be a little too small for our tiller because we got a 5-foot tiller.
Yeah, and there's no need to use it on the old tractor if it may potentially do harm.
So I want to use the spring harrow, go through there first, till it, and till, and then come back. What? Let me back that up.
I was wondering.
I'm going to use the spring harrow on the old vintage tractor, my granddad's tractor.
Right.
Run it through the garden. You're going to come behind me with a tiller, and then I'm going to come back with the cultivating tool.
That's right.
And make my mounds. So that's my plan.
And then will we cover it back up or leave it exposed?
Well, I think what I'll do is after we till it, I'll cover it back up.
Uh-huh.
And then when I get ready to plant, I'll use Granny's tractor to make my mounds and go through there and keep my line straight. So
you don't have those Budweiser rows.
I don't have the Budweiser rows. And I'm so glad I got that attachment. Because it saves. So I'm really not big on healing up the garden because your garden will tend to dry out. I know a lot of people like to do it. I was never been a big fan of it, but pulling those strings and then making you a farrow and dropping your seeds or whatever down, I don't know, it's just way easier with that attachment on it. I mean, it's 1/16 of the time. It saves so much time.
Well, I remember last year when we used it to make the rows and we got finished, you were like, oh my gracious, that was wonderful.
And what else I can use it for is before the plants get too big,
you can weed.
I can run it back through there and I can weed. I can just drive right through there, and if I keep it straight.
Because your rows are not going to be where your tires are.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. I'll be able to drive the tractor right through there, and it'll go through there and weed the rows for me. When the plants get big, I can't do that because they'll hit the cultivating tool. But
I was just thinking, never mind. I'll have to look. That was too much for me to think about.
Okay. But I am happy that the tractor's here. I really am. I want to get me a little trailer. I've been telling you for a while.
I've looked on Marketplace over and over, and I've seen multiple ones. But I also would like to have one that we could put the lawnmower on at the same time. And if that's the case, it needs to be 5 foot wide, and that's too wide.
Yeah, I won't. Do you remember Mr. Lovelady? He used to carry that one on behind his golf cart, whatever.
That was a little John Deere trailer.
That's what I want. It's got a little dump bed on it.
Yeah, well, we can just use the bucket of my tractor. How's that?
No, like today, I needed it today. I went around and picked up trash around before I cut some grass. And I kept thinking the whole time, I so wish I had me a little trailer. I'm going to get me one.
Okay.
I'm going to get me a little trailer.
If you're going to get one, I'm going to have to find it.
I want me a little old trailer that I can put behind the side-by-side or behind the tractor. I don't want nothing big. I want something that's got to have sides on it.
Okay.
And I want it to dump.
Okay.
I don't want too much.
I'll find it. I'll let you know when I get it.
Michael Key said, rumor has it I slept outside with a tractor last night.
Oh, really? Well, it was covered, so at least he was comfortable.
So, talking about covered. So, when we built the barn, I had in my mind that we're going to park both tractors under there.
Right.
Didn't cross my mind about the zero-turn lawnmower.
Right.
So, you've been parking the lawnmower under there, and then your tractor behind it, and it fits perfect.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of space behind it, but.
So, day before yesterday, I I said, I got to park the tractor. And then the lawnmower can be parked anywhere. And I think once the bus is out, we can park the lawnmower in the barn if we want to.
Sure.
But I was like, I want to get all this stuff covered. And I think it'd all fit under the lean-to on the barn.
He never says this. Nothing will ever fit.
So I pulled the old Ford up in there. Now you can't open the gate to that stall, but there's no animals over there, so it didn't matter. So I pulled the tractor in there, pulled the zero turn in there, and I got it tight now. And Big Orange come right in there, and all three of them fit.
All three of them fit, and they're sitting there right now. Just like that.
Yep. So. All three of them fit. But the tractor is running. I will say this. I did flood it out yesterday, day before yesterday. I can't remember.
Day before yesterday.
It's easy to flood. It's totally user error. I think I got it figured out now. Mr. Gary, who worked on it for me, has told me numerous of times that they are easy to flood. Mr. Gary is an older gentleman, and this is the tractor he grew up on. That his daddy, they had a farm, and that's what they used, was the exact same tractor. So he knows all about the Ford 8N.
I could tell.
But he told me I just got to be careful and not flood it. But it is easy to flood. It's not a spring chicken.
When we went and picked it up, some of his family was over there, and I think it was his wife that came outside when we were going to leave, and she said, "There goes that old antique."
Yep.
Waving it by.
They're all waving it by. There she goes.
There she goes.
There she goes. Now, I do have to replace the wires in it. I got some wires in there I need to replace. And I do want to seal the gas tank in it, but I'm gonna wait till growing season's over with, the food with it, and get the gardens done, and then come back and
so you can actually use it this spring.
Exactly.
and enjoy it. Because you told Mr. Gary, you said, now this is not going to be a novelty item. It's not just going to be for looks. I'm going to actually use this tractor.
This was not going to be a show tractor. I'm not taking it to shows. This is not something that I'm just going to baby all the time or anything like that. This is going to be a for real legit tractor that is going to, work.
And you've reached out to Granddaddy.
Yes. And still haven't got in touch with him yet to talk to him personally about it. So, but I will.
That's right.
But we will.
He will be excited.
Yes.
He will be excited to see that tractor is being used. He didn't want it to be parked.
No, he used it.
Yeah, he never thought of it as any kind of I don't know.
Right. Yeah,
ornament.
He used it.
Wasn't like that to him. It was useful.
Right.
You know what I was thinking about the other day?
What's that?
We were talking about old times and fuel and different, I don't know how it came up, but I was thinking about back when I was 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it was. Old cars.
Yeah.
My first vehicle was my mom's hand-me-down car, and I'm going to a softball game, which was out Highway 80. And so my game was like at 4:00 or something, and I left in ample time, knew I had to get gas. Going down Highway 80, my car cuts off. So I realized real quick I was out of gas.
Oh, goodness.
16 years old, ran out of gas. I'm in the middle of a major highway. And so there was a Shoney's at the time right there on the main highway.
Right.
And a church across from it and a hotel. And my house wasn't a mile from there. So I got over in the turning lane, and I thought, my thoughts were, first of all, I got to get gas in my car. But second of all, I'm going to be late for my game.
Mm-hmm.
But I had left in ample time. So I left my car in the turning lane and put my hazards on. There was no cell phone.
No.
This was 1992. walked back to my house, and my daddy was home. And so there's no telling what he was saying on the way back to get the gas in the car. But we get back there, and there's a state trooper there, parked behind me,
that fast,
with his lights on. And I, to this day, can remember what happened because he chewed me out for leaving my car there.
How was you supposed to get it?
I don't know. And that's what I keep thinking about. It comes to my mind every now and then. What was I supposed to do? Just sit there and hope that somebody was going to stop?
Yeah.
You know, at a 16-year-old mind, my thought was, I live right there.
Right.
I can walk and get a gas can or get my daddy to help me quicker than somebody can stop and get me help. Because if somebody stops me, more than likely they don't have a gas can in their car. We're going to have to go somewhere and go get a gas can. So y'all tell me why I got in so much trouble for leaving my car in the middle of the road with the hazard lights on.
I'm guessing that it was just anxiety.
For him?
Yeah. Anxiety. This is my guess. Anxiety. The cop was there, and his anxiety level went up, and he just blew some steam.
I don't know, but I remember it like it was yesterday, like so many things I can't remember. But that is something that has stuck in my mind as to what was I supposed to do?
Yeah.
There was no cell phone.
Yeah.
I lived right there.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have another option unless I just sat there until somebody.
Right.
And probably what would have happened, I hate to say this, but what would have happened if I'd been sitting there with my hazards on, sitting inside the car, he probably never would have stopped. He probably would have thought I was just there adjusting the radio or something and kept going.
Oh, goodness.
But it has often occurred to me. I didn't, nobody had a cell phone. He, of course, had his little walkie-talkie thing, but that wasn't what I had. So I don't know. And I made it to my softball game on time because I lived right there. My daddy was able to get gas to get me to the gas station to where I could fill the car up.
Yep.
And I haven't ran out of gas since. That was the only time ever. Probably why? Because I learned my lesson early on at 16 years of age. Jason and I weren't even dating then. You would have came to my rescue.
I would have came to the rescue.
Yep.
That's what it was. And it was in the turning lane. It was in the middle of the
turning. It was in the turning lane. It was a 5-lane road.
Yep.
And I got over into the turn lane, had my hazard lights on, and
yep.
It was the first thing that came to my mind is go back to the house and get the gas can. My daddy was home and get him to help me. So
that is crazy. And in that spot, there's really nowhere you can push the car.
And I couldn't push the car myself. I weighed 100 pounds soaking wet. So
there would have been no offsides to push it.
Nowhere to push it.
Because it went down.
And a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
A lot of traffic. I couldn't have got that hill that came up. You couldn't see over that hill. I wouldn't have wanted to push out in front of those cars anyway.
No, not at all.
So I don't know. That's just something that I thought about, and I wanted to ask y'all what you thought. What was I supposed to do?
I don't know.
So I guess I was supposed to sit there and miss my game.
I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to.
Well, it's never going to happen again, so I won't have that problem.
Michael Key said he worked at Shoney's when he was 16.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, Michael didn't live too far from there either. I could have walked to his house and got him.
I wonder, if I had worked at Shoney's, surely they make extra of those
I know what you're going to say. Those hot
brownie
fudge.
Yeah. Surely they make extras, and they give them to the staff at the end of the evening.
You think that's what happened?
I'm just thinking that's what I probably would have ate my weight in those hot fudge brownie cakes.
We tell Mary Carl about those all the time because that is something that I remember and remember well. It's the cake that had the hot fudge on the inside. When you pop that spoon in it, the fireworks began.
That cake is so awesome. Matter of fact, on Interstate over here, there's a picture of one.
That's why we tell her about it.
Oh my goodness. Whew. So Mike, did you get to eat any of those extra hot fudge cakes? I just want to know, man. I don't know.
Well, I know that at one time we used to get the old Subway bread from Subway because they bake their bread fresh every day. And so we would get the old bread to feed to our animals. and they would put it in a garbage bag, and Michael said something.
Oh, he left shortly after they went to the famous clean machine.
Oh, good. He had 2 jobs.
He quit Shoney's.
Oh,
Went to
okay.
Clean
Okay.
Machine.
I thought you meant.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, I would pick that bread up in that big old garbage bag, and they would throw their cookies out. Because I guess if they make bread fresh daily, they make cookies fresh daily.
So I can't see them, man. I hate to know they're throwing out them hot fudge cakes.
Oh, yeah. That'd have been something to be waiting at the dumpster for, wouldn't it?
I just don't know. Mr. John asked, what was exactly wrong with the tractor? Did the guy say? Well, number one was carburetor. It had a new carburetor on it that Granny had put on there, but it had to be rebuilt, so I rebuilt it. So still went crank, so I figured, well, I rebuilt it wrong. It was the first time I ever rebuilt the carburetor, so I bought a new carburetor and put a new carburetor on it. And I bought a new fuel bowl, and I did a complete tune on it, plugs, wires, caps. He told me that the points were not set correctly, and he fixed that. The carburetor on it, the brand new one, was total trash because they all come out of China. You can't buy parts for these old vintage tractors because here in the United States, they don't make parts for them no more. So the parts come out of China, and the carburetor was junk. The brand new carburetor was junk. He luckily had a carburetor that he ordered for a guy many years ago that wasn't one of the Chinese junk ones.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. And he actually ordered it for a Ferguson tractor.
Oh, that's right, because you told me that.
Yeah, he gave me the history about the Ferguson, that Ford and Ferguson were together, and that Ferguson wanted to put a hydraulic system on the back of the 8N or that model style tractor, and Ford didn't want to do it, and so they split. So Ferguson made his own tractor that looked identical to the Ford 8N and 9N tractors. He said there's the only thing difference was something about the hood. It was shaped just a little bit different. Other than that, it was the exact same tractor, and that's what he had that carburetor for. And it fit perfectly on there. So it was carburetor issues. The starter had to be rebuilt. He put a new coil on it. He redid the points. And yeah, the brakes had to be rebuilt. And he did something else. He said he took off something and drilled a hole in it so it won't blow the wheel seals out. That happens a lot on them. I didn't understand that, but
I said, yes, sure, sir. Don't understand it.
So it wasn't nothing major. It was just a bunch of little stuff, I think, that just compounded. And
we were lucky to find this guy. Actually, Brant, the builder, had this gentleman do some work on a tractor for him. And so Brant gave Jason the number, and we reached out to him. And I have a feeling Mr. Gary is going to be a lifelong contact.
Yes.
Because this isn't the only time something's going to be wrong with a tractor.
No.
While it's fixed and running, it's old and things are going to happen.
Yep. Another thing is he did to it. He said that they're bad about getting trash in it, and he put some little screens in the fuel system to catch any trash. I mean, it was just little bitty stuff. And
he said he loved doing it.
Yeah,
he loves working on it.
Loves working on that.
But let me tell y'all something that amazed me about this guy. Is not one day while this tractor was at his house did it sit outside.
Yeah, he didn't want it to get, because I think he kind of liked the old tractor.
He was obviously fond of it and did not want it to get weathered. So it stayed inside a garage the entire time.
Yep.
And when it got ready, he wanted to know when we could come get it because he was on to the next thing that he was working on and needed that.
You see that big old John Deere?
I didn't.
Oh, man, it was like a 70 model John Deere. It was a big tractor, though.
Not that he was going to leave it in the shop, but he needed it in there when he worked on it.
Yeah, that was the thing. He wanted to be able to put my tractor outside so he could start working on this other one. And he didn't want to put it outside.
He said, I just pulled it out here just today.
So, yeah, I'm so happy we found Mr. Gary. So happy.
Before we went and got the tractor, we took Mary Carl to the lake birding.
Yes.
And it's, it's kind of an in-between time of the year, I guess you would say, for birds because they haven't finished their migration. But I'm going to tell y'all something amazing that we saw. So last year was our first year to ever go to the lake in Chilton County. What we were you and I were familiar with was the Alabama River. And when we went to the Alabama River, we could have cared less about birds.
Right.
But that was the water we were, familiar with. And so when we started going to the lake last year, Mary Carl was interested in birds, and that became something that interested me and Jason as well. So we're going down the water. We're looking for something called a blue-winged teal, and we didn't see anything. It was just a dead birding day. But it was on fire for bass fishermen. Do y'all hear me, Michael Key? I later found out there was a tournament, and that's why there were so many bass fishermen on the lake. But that's not what amazed me. Is we rode down the lake to see where some osprey had nested previously last year.
That's right.
And y'all, it was so interesting because every time we went to the lake, we could see this mama and daddy on into the summer flying to the nest and feeding the baby. And they fed the baby fish. You could see them dive down in the water, get that fish, and go back and hold it over those babies. There was 3 babies that were born last year, and they fledged right at the 4th of July. So while Mary Carl didn't think it was the time of year for the ospreys to be back, we were amazed when we saw an osprey fly over. And Mary Carl was like, oh, look, it's an osprey. It's kind of early for them to be back. So we go on down to where the nest is to find both the mother and the father were back to the nest.
Same nest. That just amazes
me. And this is the part of it that amazes me. They're migratory birds.
Right.
The female does not go to the same place the male goes.
Yes.
They go their separate ways when they migrate. And they meet up at the nesting spot. So that means that the female came back to her husband, which she mates with for life. And then he came back and they met up at the lake. And they're back.
That is amazing. Me and Mary Carl watched a show not too long ago. It was about the butterflies, the monarchs, and a bird. And I think it was a type of swallow. My mind's correct, but it migrated to the UK, but from Africa. And the same thing, that the male and the female were in 2 different locations, but they met up at that same spot.
Isn't that amazing?
Every year. That's unreal.
It is amazing to me. It just makes me realize how complex nature is,
Unreal.
For those 2 to make it back. I mean,
unreal.
I'm sure things happen from time to time, and one of the 2 doesn't make it back. But to see that they had been reunited, and it's this early in the year, it just brought a smile to my face.
They are beautiful birds.
They are beautiful birds. And to see them dive in the water is a sight to behold.
Yep.
They hit that water going super hard and come up with a fish. So I could sit there and watch them all day long. I really could. In the summer when they're feeding their babies.
Right.
We would be like, oh no, there's only 2 chicks. And then all of a sudden, here comes the 3rd head. It'd pop up, and be like, oh, it's okay. There's 3. They're all good.
Oh, goodness.
That was our highlight of our going to the lake, was to check on the osprey. And
how you say it, osprey or osprey?
Well, I guess it depends on where you live. I say osprey because I'm in Alabama. But I'm sure we're going to get corrected.
Oh, goodness. Oh, I would like to give an update on the Donkey Clan.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty tight now.
They are tight.
They're and it's 3 of them.
And Mildred too.
It's Mildred. It's Jesse, Mildred, and Honey. They are a tight bunch.
They are.
You can go out there, and those 3 will be together almost 95% of the time that you go over there and look and check on them. They are very, 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 very tight. I mean, they're no static whatsoever anymore.
I was examining, I don't know what that was.
I think it was
I was examining the cattle herd that lives across the street. And there's a lot of land across the street. They have a lot of area. And it seems that no matter how much area the cows have access to, they tend to stay in the same area. They could separate a little bit, but they don't. They stay together. And in that herd of cows, you will always see those 3 donkeys mingling with them.
Yeah.
So, I'm wondering if it's just a thing where they're part of their herd.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Maybe so.
Because I don't know. But I was examining them just this morning I went to put eggs in the stand, and the cows are on that side of the pasture.
Right.
And as I looked at them, I realized, there were a lot of them that have had babies here recently, and those donkeys stay right in the middle of them.
They
stay
unreal.
right there with them.
That is unreal. And I even tell y'all this: I can pet Jesse, and Honey just stands there, and I can pet Honey, and Jesse just stands there. There's no get away or anything like that. That I'm supposed to be loved on and not you or anything like that. It's going really, really well with those two.
Well,
really
I fed last night, and it was my first time feeding since things have been calm.
Mm-hmm.
So all you gotta do is tell Mildred to go to her stall. Mildred is just about 9 times out of 10 going to be standing in that barn waiting to be fed.
Yep.
So I say, Mildred, go get in your stall. While I'm fixing her food, she goes out and she goes to her stall. It's so amazing. But she goes to her stall, and then the goats and Jesse and Honey are still standing there, and they'll be together.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday they were in the goat stall together. The goats weren't in there yet.
Yeah.
But I had to get them out and get them to go in their stall together.
They're doing good. They're doing really good. They are doing really, 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 really well. And I'm super surprised because I just knew Jessie was going to be jealous. Jealous Jessie. I thought that was going to be her name, but it's not.
She doesn't seem to be jealous, and Honey seems to have just settled right in. I mean, like she's been here the whole time. No changes for her.
It is going very, very well. A lot better than I anticipated, I can tell you that.
Oh, Peaches decided last night, since the donkeys were in the goat stall, Peaches decided she was going to go outside. And that's what happens if you mess around. Let me tell you what I do. Shut the door.
I give her just a little handful of her feed and put it in that.
Now you tell me.
And that'll occupy her enough that you can get the chores done.
Well, she starts heading out the door, and I'm like, no, big girl, no. It's supposed to rain tonight.
Oh, man.
And you're not going to spend the night outside.
Yeah.
And so she's halfway out the door, and you touch her, and she's got her mind on something that's, it's almost like she's letting you have it. I want to go outside.
That's right. That's right.
But you got a mess if you leave that door open, because she's not going to go back in, and the goats are.
Yep. That's exactly right. And what she's doing is she thinks she's going to get something that drops.
Oh, she's thinking, for sure.
The goats are going to drop some food, and she's going to go over and clean it up.
Well, she's thinking in her head, I'd rather spend the night outside and get a drop of food than sleep in my stall and get wet.
Or I'm going to go over there and clean up Mildred's mess. One of the two. I'm going to clean the goat's mess up or the Mildred's mess.
There is a pig that lives down the road from us that looks very much like Peaches.
It's very similar.
I mean, if somebody that knew where we lived saw that pig, they would call us.
Yeah.
And they would say, Peaches is down the road.
Yeah.
So when we go by this area, I always look. Is Peaches out? That's what I call her, Peaches, because she looks so much like Peaches. But y'all, she is not on any kind of restricted diet. She obviously dumps the garbage over and eats whatever she can.
There's no telling what this pig is eating down there.
Her belly drags the ground.
She's a big girl.
She's a big girl, but she
ain't
eating healthy.
Big girl. Yep.
So, I got tickled the other day thinking about it. I said, I wonder if Peaches would like Peaches if they were to be together. Of course they wouldn't.
Right.
Diva Peaches would not have it. And besides that, what would the Peaches that's not taken care of be like if she had measured out amount of food? She would probably be fit to be tied.
Like, she'd be like, somebody going on a diet.
Yeah.
You've been
she'd be going in withdrawals.
Oh goodness, I hate to know.
But
that'd be one angry pig.
The bad thing about it is the people obviously don't want to cut their grass, and so they spray poison all in the grass.
Really?
Yes.
I had never paid any attention to it.
Hey, and they've already done it.
And so the grass is dead.
The grass is dying already. So Peaches, she goes around and she just eats garbage or whatever she can find. Now this is the impersonator Peaches. Oh, this is the real Peaches.
Not the real Peaches. Yeah.
But the impersonator Peaches has a little dog that runs beside her most of the time. It looks kind of like Dee Dee.
Oh, goodness.
And obviously they belong to somebody because there's a backyard. They're not in a fence, though.
Yep.
Now, there was a Saturday when we were out of town, and somebody contacted us about a pig that was in the middle of the road.
They thought it was Peaches.
It was Peaches' impersonator, but I've never seen her get in the road.
Mm-hmm.
She only scoots around in that yard,
Right.
on the dead grass. But it's not affecting her because she doesn't eat the grass anyway.
She don't eat the grass.
She's probably eaten every bit of dog food, cat food, chicken feed, whatever she can find. Because she's literally this big around. I'm not kidding.
She's not eating grass.
I tell Mary Carl,
that girl ain't eating a salad.
When they put her on the Facebook thing saying somebody need to come get this pig out of the road.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, I wouldn't want to be a fly on the wall when they try to pick that pig up and put it in the car. Peaches was sick when we took her to Auburn, and I'm going to tell y'all something. That was the loudest squeal.
Yeah.
Your parents could have heard it from their house.
Yeah, that's the defense mechanism for pigs, is that when you pick one up, they just
let you have it.
Boom! It is loud. Oh my gracious, it is loud.
I bet the Peaches impersonator's pipes are pretty big.
Yeah.
I bet she could let you know that she was not wanting to be loaded up.
No, not at all.
So I think she's there to stay. At least she's being fed, because if she wasn't being fed, she wouldn't be as fat as she is.
She's a big girl.
I just wouldn't want to know what Peaches had to say about her.
She is a big girl.
I just get tickled thinking about, wonder if we're going to see Peaches today. And there's about 6 out of 10 times we don't see her.
Yeah.
But then every now and then.
I don't know where she goes.
I don't know where she goes either.
Maybe she goes in the house.
Maybe. I mean, maybe we got this all wrong.
Maybe she's a house pig.
Maybe, because she's obviously being fed. Or she's got a whole bunch of worms. Because that's a big pig.
I don't think that's worms.
I don't think so either. But she looks so much like Peaches. I've never seen a pig that looks so much like her.
It does look a lot like her.
I have to see if I can't take a picture of her.
But she is a big girl.
She's a big girl. She is a big girl.
Mm.
Well, guess what?
What?
I don't have to cook.
No, you cooked an amazing lunch today.
I decided today, well, it was supposed to rain all day.
Yeah.
So I decided I'd cook lunch instead of dinner.
And it was good.
It never rained. The whole time I cooked, it never rained.
Meatloaf. Collard greens.
Yep.
Black eyed peas.
Yep.
And cornbread.
That's right. And so now we don't have to worry about what we're going to have for dinner.
Yeah.
I don't even want any dinner. I'm
full. I'm full myself.
I am still full from lunch.
Yeah, I am full myself.
And I'm glad I cooked early. As the time changes, I may have to start doing that more and more often, because when it gets hot outside, the hottest part of the day is going to, be lunchtime or whatever.
That's
and
right.
then I could go outside in the evening and enjoy the cooler temperatures, 5 to 7 or whatever.
That is so true.
Because y'all, we spring forward this weekend. I know there's a few of y'all
spring forward
that don't change time zones, and y'all are lucky. But we here in Alabama, we change times. So
we're going to spring forward.
We will spring forward 1 hour. That means instead of 5 o'clock, it will be 6 o'clock right now.
Wow.
And that's what I mean, is I can cook lunch and then be outside
I like that.
in the evening.
I like
when
that.
It gets July and it's, unbearable at lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
I've never said heat was unbearable, though, till now. I do not like the cold, though, I'll tell you that. I do not like it. I couldn't live somewhere where it was constantly cold. You have to bundle up and go outside and then take it off and bundle up again. Can't do it.
Yeah, I watched a series not too long ago, and it was based in Alaska, and it was hardcore Alaska, and oh my gracious.
Well, no,
I don't even
know.
This was every time they went outside,
it was
frigid. It was the 24 hours dark time.
Mm-mm.
It never got light for so many days.
Right.
And every time they walked outside, it was.
I can't. I can't.
Yeah, I don't know how they dealt with it.
I just can't. I mean, I would if I had to. Of course, there's circumstances where you have no choice.
Right.
But by choice, I'd rather be in Alabama.
That's some tough people up here.
Pretty good weather here.
That is some tough people up there.
With the exceptions of tornadoes and hurricanes.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
That's true.
But Well, I guess we will be back on Saturday, correct?
We should be back here on Saturday if
With coffee in tow.
Coffee in tow. Ryan sent me a text today, and he wants me to do something on the website about the coffee. And so the new flavor coffee should be out. Yeah, I was watching True Detective. They figured that out. I couldn't remember the name of it. That was it.
I don't remember the name of anything that I watched.
But he just sent me another text too. So we should have the new coffee out hopefully this week. Should be this week.
Maybe by
That's
Saturday.
What he just sent me. Yeah, I think so.
Maybe by Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome.
Would be awesome.
Yeah, because I get to say www.coghillfarm.com.
Well, guys, I hope y'all have a fabulous Tuesday.
Dee Dee behaved herself for the most part.
Dee Dee right here.
Oh, goodness. Look,
you don't have to pick her up. She's right
look
there.
Look at little Dee Dee.
There she is right there.
Dee Dee.
Yeah. And we'll catch you guys on the next one, and that will be Saturday.
That's right, Saturday.
Y'all be video tomorrow.
Video tomorrow.
Y'all gotta tell me what Nugget's doing.
That's right. Y'all be good.
Y'all be good.